Hey everyone, just wanted to do a quick maker spotlight on a gentleman named Andy Waugh. He is somebody who will make, I don't want to speak out of turn, but practically anything in the EDC world. You could send him a knife, he'll make a pivot collar. You could send him a knife and he'll make a new scale inlay. You could send him a pen and he'll make practically any part you can think of. He is absolutely a wizard. Um, I originally knew of Andy Waugh because of his work on Fellhoelter pens. Many of you, if you're on this video, probably are thinking about buying a Fellhoelter mod of some sort that he makes. He makes plenty of bolt carriers and end caps and tips for the Fellhoelter pens, which he does a phenomenal job on. He'll make spinners, things with bearings that you can spin. But what many of you may or may not know is that he is happy to do practically anything, at least as far as I've ever come to find. He had never touched, literally never touched a Grimsmo Saga before. Because I sent him this pen, he now owns one and will gladly make you parts for a Grimsmo Saga. He's done tubes, tips, and sliders. Hussy, go away. For Grimsmo Sagas. But this was the first one he had ever touched. And 10 days later, he made me a Zirconium slider, which is this piece here. And this was, God, a few years ago at this point. And the tip to the pen out of Zirconium. 10 days. Never touched one before. And in 10 days, he made me those pieces. His popularity, although rampant at that point, has grown. So his books are filled, at least currently. You may get lucky and he doesn't have full books at the time that you request a part. But, please, cat, you are beyond obnoxious. I sent in this CamPen from BilletSpin, which is absolutely a phenomenal pen if you hadn't seen my other reviews on it. I got one in Zirconium now, and I sent it to Andy, and he did a white Timascus clip, and this will never come through on video, but I've had a lot of Timascus pieces, and the polish that he put on this is amazing. 2 tritium pieces in the clip, and then he did a bolt handle in Zirconium, and I couldn't even tell in the picture that he sent me, but as you can see, my entire pen is oil slicked. For those unaware, that's the term that means the Zirconium is not fully blackened. It's a spread of colors right before the Zirconium becomes black. So my pen is oil slicked. He oil slicked the bolt handle. Oil slicking something this small is and for this is speaking from somebody who's put a flame to Zirc before. If you overshoot it and go black, you're gonna have a rough time getting it back to an oil slick finish. He executed it perfectly, and he put 4 tritium pieces inside of the handle as requested. I wanted 4 in the handle, 2 in the clip, and 6 in the tip. The tip had to be changed. The entire profile of the tip, it used to be, more triangular, like a typical pen tip. He changed it into this bullet shape because otherwise the walls would be too thin and the tritium wouldn't fit. Rather than saying, bummer, we can't do that, he said, Here's a solution for you. Do you like this? Absolutely the nicest guy, the best guy to work with. He may feign it, but his excitement is, it seems so genuine when he works on something for you. He's just the nicest fucking guy. And as you can see here, red and blue trits all over the tip, alternating. That's the clip right there. Red and blue bolt. And again, I've had this Grimsmo Saga with these parts on it for a few years at this point. Works just as well as day number 1. This is a really old Saga. It's number 46, if memory serves. Yeah, 46. It's a really old Saga, you know, so it's early on in the production. His slider, compared to Grimsmo's, and I have another Saga, but compared to Grimsmo's Sagas at this point in their run, his slider has tighter tolerances and better action and better fit and finish than theirs did. I cannot say enough good things about him. His books are constantly full at this point, so it may take a little bit longer than 10 days, like it did when he first got a Grimsmo Saga. For the first time, he touched it and made this for me. Now he's done some Mokame, he's done some Timascus parts for a Saga. He made a superconductor tube, which is amazing. And at some point, I do want to get a Zirc tube from him, aka the whole body of the pen. And when we were talking about this pen, he's like, yeah, I think I could come up with a zirconium clip for that at some point. He's yet to do an aftermarket Saga clip, but I bet you if you commissioned him for it, he'd do it. Andy is absolutely just, he's the nicest guy and he does the best work. I can't say enough positive things about him. Again, don't expect 10 days. This took a bit longer. He didn't have the tritium on hand, in fact, so he had to order it from Mixglow, you know, which comes from China, which I was totally fine with. You know, I told him no rush. Let's just get this thing done right. So brand new tritium and everything. He doesn't often work with tritium, but clearly he is very capable of it. So if you're looking for aftermarket pen work, Andy does absolutely phenomenal work. Nothing against Nils Coering, who I also have a few pieces from. Nils does great work as well. Nils, however, has a TiBolt, you know, Fellhoelter, and a Soul pen now from BilletSpin. And as far as BilletSpin is concerned, he's only ever made the pushers, the button that goes in and out on a clicky pen. He's only ever made pushers on the Soul pen, and Fellhoelter he's done a whole bunch of stuff on. But if you ask him, hey, can you mod my tactile turn? Can you mod my CamPen? Can you? He's like, I don't have those. He may be able to be convinced. I don't know. I never pushed him. But he seems to only be interested in the pens that he has on hand, and he doesn't want you to send him anything. He doesn't want to do anything he hasn't done before, which is fine. It's fair. I'm not knocking him at all for that. Andy is a magician. You send him something, he's like, yeah, cool. He's actually excited to work on something new. Nils does great work as well. His work is on par with Andy's. And I would be amiss to say that I didn't message Nils and say, hey, Rich sent you a Soul pen. Did he send you a CamPen as well? And he said, no, he didn't. So, no biggie. I moved on to Andy. And not that Andy was the lesser tier. I just knew that Andy, or that Nils had a Soul pen on hand. So, and I didn't know that Andy did. But when I asked Andy, hey, could you make these parts for my CamPen? He's like, hey, actually, I just finished some up for another customer. He asked me to make a clip. So Andy already had one of these in prior to me asking him anyway. But he had me send the pen in so he could match the oil slick on the tip. Like, just absolutely phenomenal work. Cannot say enough about Andy. When I YouTube Andy Wah, nothing comes up. So that's one of the main reasons I wanted to make this video. Nicest guy. He's here in the United States. So Nils is in Germany. Andy is in the States. So if you get something from Nils, he finishes it pretty quick. But it'll take, a month to get to you from Germany to the States, where Andy, takes USPS normal times 2 or 3 days or whatever. So just wanted to give a shout out to Andy and show you guys a build that I am absolutely extremely excited about. There is nothing that I would have changed on this. He did a phenomenal job. I can't nitpick a single thing. Again, in his photos, apologies for the noise there. In his photos, I couldn't tell how beautiful a polish he got on this white Timascus. I didn't notice that this was oil slicked. Now that I go look at his photos, you can kind of tell. But he matched the oil slick to the tip. Like, what a nut job! What a compulsive guy. And that is the exact type of person that you want working on your pen. So can't say enough good things about him. Can't say enough good things about Nils either. But Andy, you hand him a fucking odd job that he's never touched before, and he's happy to do it, which is insane to me. So yeah, appreciate you guys. Just here sharing the wealth of knowledge that I've come by being in this hobby that we all share. So